Hello and welcome to the EDH Academy Deck Lab, where we go over the construction of a commander deck and go a little bit into more detail as to how it's supposed to operate. My name is Jay, host of the EDH Academy podcast and head researcher here at the Deck Lab. Today's episode, we're going to be going over one of the winners of the EDHCare giveaway that we held in December of 2018. This particular winner was at Espeon Sun, and this individual was looking for a Hanna Ship's Navigator deck that was centered around using counter spells to keep your opponent off guard while playing a lot of enchantments. So, pretty straightforward. We're going to go over the commander first. Hanna Ship's Navigator for 1 blue-white gets us a 1/2 Human Artificer, whose ability is 1 white-blue tap, return target artifact or enchantment card from your graveyard to your hand. So this deck in particular is going to be about maintaining control of the board states by utilizing artifacts and enchantments on your board, and then bringing them back to hand with Hanna's ability to reuse them for later on in the game. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Our first category is going to be our artifact ramp. These 6 pieces of artifact ramp are going to help us be able to cast the spells we want to cast and to be able to generate the colors that we need at that time. This is a fairly standard list of artifacts that any blue-white deck would include, so if you're looking to dig a little bit deeper into artifact ramp, I would recommend putting in Prismatic Lens and Azorius Locket to begin. Our next category is going to be our counterspells. We run 10 of them in this deck. 10 is a good number to start at when you're trying to feel out if you want to be that hard of a control deck. If you want to go a little bit more into another strategy and just merely use counterspells as a splash to be able to handle the one category of cards you can't really deal with, or category of spells you can't deal with, then you would go lower. If you really want to be hard to control and you don't want a lot of spells resolving, then you would obviously bump up the counterspell part. And we just got a few counterspells in Ravnica Allegiances in Quench, Thought Collapse, and Absorb if you're looking to flesh this out. Our next category of cards is Disruption. We run a lot of this. This is our bread and butter of the deck. These are the cards that are going to keep our opponents from attacking us unless they spend mana. These are things that we're going to want to be getting back with Hanna should they be destroyed, because these are going to really help us know how to use our counterspells and when, and be able to use our resources as productively as possible. Our next category is Card Advantage. This is a mixture of cards that either draw us cards, or they allow us to look at cards on the top of our library and be able to add one to our hand so that we can start getting to the answers that we're looking for to help close out the game. Now, we're only running 5 in here. We have a alternate draw engine, which I will discuss a little bit later, that'll help us dig a little bit deeper. However, if you're looking for less restricted versions of Card Advantage, I would recommend looking into cards like Eyes Everywhere and Thassa God of the Sea to help fix your draws, and into cards very similar to Dig Through Time and Glimmer of Genius to help dig a little bit deeper into your deck to find those cards. Our next spot is that of removal. Now, we're only going to be running 7 pieces of removal in this deck, mainly because we're looking for ways to either get rid of artifacts and enchantments, reset the board state creature-wise, or be able to pick off the individual creatures that are giving us problems. The reason why we run as limited removal as we do is because we run so much disruption with either bouncing things, locking them down, or making them useless to our opponent. If you're looking to invest a little bit deeper into this section, I recommend looking into cards like Supreme Verdict and Cyclonic Rift, which are both hallmark cards for the color identity we have here. Our next category is Utility, which gives us a effect that we only see in one aspect of the deck. And so with Archaeomancer and Auramancer, we're returning sorceries, instants, and auras back into our hand. And Sunbeam Spellbomb will either actually help us draw cards, or it will gain us life if you're able to outpace your opponent on the damage they're dealing versus the life you're gaining. And now we're going to go into the win cons of the deck. So when the deck was originally built, the initial idea was to build a deck that was about disrupting your opponent, keeping them from doing anything, and then finally winning the game. And one of the most recent inclusions of an alternate win condition that goes well with the strategy is Approach of the Second Sun. All we have to do is cast it from our hand twice and we win the game. And with our ability to bounce creatures from the field, destroy artifacts and enchantments with relative ease, and recycle those threats, Approach of the Second Sun is an easy enough win condition as it is. However, as I always recommend to players, never only have one win condition for your deck. You need to be able to bounce back and respond to it in the event that your first win condition is turned off for whatever reason. There are ways to keep Approach from the Second Sun from making you win the game, even with cards like Archaeomancer. So as such, we go into our second win con / value engine, and that's the Enchantress win condition. So the Enchantress playstyle is about getting a series of auras onto a singular creature, make it really big, and attacking. First, you may be wondering, well, wait a minute, if this is supposed to be a disruption deck, why are we talking about making a creature really big? And the reason why is because of these three cards: Mesa Enchantress, Srom Senior Edificer, and Core Spirit Dancer. With these cards, every time we cast an aura, or in Mesa Enchantress's case, when we cast any enchantment, we're drawing cards. Now, Core Spirit Dancer and Srom say they have to be auras. That doesn't mean an aura has to target our creature. With cards like Arrest and Imprisoned in the Moon and Darksteel Mutation, we're actually drawing cards from stopping our opponent from doing things. On top of that, we have a series of creatures that act as both creatures and auras separately. And these creatures have the keyword Bestow. So they are regular creature spells, they are also regular enchantment spells, so when we cast them, regardless, we're drawing a card from Mesa Enchantress. Now, if we cast them for their Bestow cost, they're cast as auras, which allows Srom and Core Spirit Dancer to draw a card from that. So these creatures are either things we could enchant with other enchantments and swing with, or we can use the Bestow ability to give a creature we already control a significant boost. Oh, did I mention Core Spirit Dancer gets +2/+2 for each aura on her? I'm sure that won't come in handy during your games. And our final category is our lands category. We're running 36 lands, starting with Evolving Wilds and Terramorphic Expanse. They will allow us to grab a basic out of our library to be able to fix our colors. We're running Rogue's Passage to allow one of our creatures to get in for damage if we need to, Reliquary Tower to get rid of that pesky little hand size limit that we always have, and Command Tower. From there, we're just running 2 Panoramas from Shards of Alara block for us to be able to either tap for mana in the meantime, or if we really need to fix our mana, we can go and grab one of our basics in our deck. The 3 dual lands we're running in our deck is the Check Land, the Battle Land, and the Show Land for our deck. So these 3 cards, depending on if we have 2 basics for the Battle Land, if we control a basic of our colors, or if we reveal a basic of one of our colors in our hand, we can actually have these cards come to play on tap, which is super helpful in being able to not only fix our mana, but still be able to play spells, as a lot of lands that want to add a mana of, 1 of 2 or 3 colors, they'll enter the battlefield tap, assuming there isn't an additional cost on top of that. And from there, we're just simply running 13 copies of each basic. Because of the number of entrants into our giveaway, we were able to include a copy of each full art land from Battle for Zendikar, Oath of the Gatewatch, Amonkhet, Hour of Devastation, and Unstable. Thank you for watching this episode of the EDH Academy Deck Lab. If you liked the video, please hit that like button. If you have any thoughts you would like to share about the video, please leave a comment below. If you would like to follow us on YouTube, please sure to hit that subscribe button. If you want to be notified whenever we make a new video, hit that bell icon. If you'd like to contribute to the EDH Academy, please check out the links below to find out how you can contribute. Thank you again for watching, and you have a good day.